What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my third set of bowl predictions. In this video, I'll be predicting games from December 26th through December 28th. This is my third of 5 videos that I will be making. I already made my first 2 videos last week, so if you feel like it, go back and check out those videos before you watch this one. But my 5th and last video will be out on Wednesday, and in that video, I will be predicting the New Year's 6 bowl games and also be predicting the college football playoff winner. But before I get into this video, here's a reminder to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also turn on notifications so you never miss an upload, because we post daily college football videos. Got some good games going on from December 26th through December 28th, and that's when we will start seeing ranked teams playing, and I will be predicting 9 games today. And let's start with the first game, which is Texas State versus Rice. This game will be played on a Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time in Dallas, Texas, and I'm pretty sure both of these teams are from the state of Texas, so it should be an interesting interstate clash. But I do have Texas State winning this game 34-24. Texas State has had a solid offense this year, and I don't think Rice is that good. And I definitely think Texas State comes out to play, and they don't play with their food. Texas State has lost a couple players to the portal, but nobody that can really hurt them. And Texas State has a solid quarterback, so I guess I'll go with them to win it. But I could be wrong because ESPN Analytics has Rice at a 61% chance to win the game. But let's get off of this game and get to some other games with Power 5 schools. The second game on the video, which is Kansas versus UNLV. This game will be played on a Tuesday, the day after Christmas, just like the last game I talked about. But this game is a night game starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be played in Phoenix, Arizona. So I think that means UNLV will have the home field advantage. But both of these teams have been solid this year. These are two teams that used to never make bowl games, but both teams have been on the rise and had solid offenses. Kansas also has a really good quarterback who has been injured most of the year. I do believe he will be back and starting next year for Kansas. I heard good things about him, but I could be wrong. But anyways, I do have Kansas winning this game 37-28. UNLV is a solid team, but Kansas will have too much talent for them. Kansas is also a 12.5 point favorite with their win chance at 72%. So analytics seem to agree with me. This should definitely be a fun high scoring game though. The next game is Virginia Tech versus Tulane. This game will be played on Wednesday, December 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Virginia Tech is actually a 10-point favorite in this game. Tulane lost their star receiver to the portal and also lost a lot of other players. Virginia Tech also lost some players to the portal, so these teams will just have to adapt, and I expect this game to be a close game, but I'm going with Virginia Tech to win this game 31-24. Virginia Tech has had a pretty good offense most of the year, and the last couple of weeks it seems they have found their stride, but it's hard to say because they're a very streaky team. But I was never super high on this Tulane team, and they finally proved me right when they lost to SMU. Tulane is still a good football team, but not as good as they were last year, and they really struggled this year in games they shouldn't have struggled in. But they still did put together a solid 11-2 season, but Virginia Tech should definitely win this game. Tulane does have a pretty solid defense though, so it is going to be fun to see Virginia Tech's offense against Tulane's defense. So I do have Virginia Tech winning a one-score game, but this game will definitely be a 4-quarter game, and it could go either way. The next game is North Carolina versus West Virginia. This game will be played on Wednesday, December 27th. It will also be played in Charlotte, North Carolina, so of course North Carolina will have the home field advantage. But I wouldn't necessarily say they have the advantage in this game. They won't have quarterback Drake May, and they are 6.5 point underdogs in this game, and it's pretty reasonable if you ask me. North Carolina has also lost 2 in a row by double digits and came down to earth, while West Virginia has won their last 2 games against albeit pretty bad Big 12 teams, but a win is a win. And I definitely like West Virginia to win this game, and I have West Virginia winning this game 41-28. Both of these teams have been beat up by the transfer portal, so I could be wrong. It's hard to keep up with the transfer portal stuff, it's all crazy, but it makes sense to go with West Virginia because Drake May will not be playing, and Drake May was like the Caleb Williams to that team. Without Drake May, they will really struggle. North Carolina should be able to score points because West Virginia has a pretty bad defense, but it won't be enough to get the job done. So I got West Virginia by double digits. The next game is number 15 Louisville versus USC. This game will be played on Wednesday, December 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Louisville lost a lot of players to the transfer portal, but ultimately USC lost the biggest player to their team, their quarterback Caleb Williams. I don't know who will start for them at quarterback, but even with Caleb Williams, I might pick Louisville, but Louisville doesn't have a great offense either. So this is kind of a battle of the overrated teams. But I do have Louisville winning this game 34-21 and covering the spread. This game is played in San Diego, California, so USC will have home field advantage, but they will need a lot of help to win this game. I know Louisville isn't anything special, but USC couldn't even beat a team like UCLA when they had Caleb Williams, so let's just leave it at that. But it will be interesting to see how USC rebuilds for the future. They are already making moves heading into the right direction. Maybe they'll be back in a couple years. But as soon as next year, I don't know about that because the Big Ten is going to be a gauntlet for USC. USC needs to build that defensive side, but they're heading in the right direction as of now, but losing Caleb Williams is tough. Imagine this USC team this year with a good defense. They could be scary, but for Louisville, this is a team that I'm really unsure about for the future. But they did just pick up quarterback Tyler Shaw out of the transfer portal. He will be a 7th-year quarterback, so I guess we'll see what he can offer at Louisville next year. The next game is Texas A&M versus Oklahoma State. This game will be played on Wednesday, December 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This game will be played in Houston, Texas. This game is a very weird game, but it should be an interesting game. Texas A&M has been a pretty solid team for being 7-5, believe it or not. They played teams tough this year, and their defense has been pretty good. On paper, they should definitely beat Oklahoma State, but there's still a concern because of how many big players they lost to the transfer portal, including losing multiple key defensive linemen and quarterback Max Johnson. But on the other hand, Oklahoma State is a very streaky team, and they've been struggling lately. But I could see this game going either way. Analytics seem to favor Texas A&M, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma State to win a close game, 27-24. I thought Oklahoma State had an above-average defense this year, but it's hard to tell after losing the way they did to Texas in the Big 12 championship. But I will go with Oklahoma State to win this game. These are two teams that have a lot of concerns going into this game, but that's what should make it very interesting. The next game is SMU versus Boston College. This game will be played on Tuesday, December 28th. SMU is heavy favorites in this game, and this game is very lopsided in their direction. But don't count out Boston College. They will have home field advantage in this game, and being a massive underdog at 6-6 may motivate them to come out and play against an SMU team that has been on fire lately. And Boston College has had a solid offense this year, so they have some upside. But let's be real, this SMU team is rolling on all cylinders, and I do think they will win this game. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if Boston College keeps it close or even somehow wins this game. But I do have SMU winning this game 37-24, covering the 11-point spread. SMU has a top 5 offense this year, and this team probably is the best Group of 5 team despite Liberty going undefeated and being the Group of 5 team to make the New Year's Six Bowl. But it will be interesting to see SMU moving into the ACC next year, and I wonder if they can compete in year 1. They do have some solid defensive players returning, and also their quarterback will be back. But we'll see how they do in the transfer portal. Maybe they'll get some key pickups on defense, because their defense needs the most help, and it definitely needs help if they want to be a top team in the ACC. But don't count out SMU to maybe win 8, 9, or even 10 games next year. Who knows? And for Boston College, you have a solid quarterback, and I believe he will be back. But you need a lot more help on that team to get above that mid-level that you guys have always been at. But anyways, definitely give me SMU by double digits in this game. The next game is Rutgers versus Miami, the battle of the average Power 5 teams. This game will be played on Thursday, December 28th at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami won't have a lot of key guys that they had this year going into the game. On the other hand, Rutgers didn't really lose anyone, and they have a solid defense, so this should be a very close game. I definitely do think Miami was a lot better than Rutgers this year, but Rutgers has a solid defense. And give me Rutgers to win this game 17-14 to get a very needed bowl win for the program. Don't forget, Rutgers was the team that got absolutely embarrassed a few years back playing Michigan, where they lost 78-0, and the stats were insanely bad. Just go look up 78-0 Rutgers versus Michigan and you'll know what I'm talking about. But I do have Rutgers pulling off the upset, I guess you would say. But Miami's future does look way brighter than Rutgers. And if Miami somehow figures out how to take that next step, they can be a legit contender. They've had top recruiting classes every year and a lot of talent on the team. They've just been stuck at being an average 7 or 8 win team as of now. And I don't know if they'll take that next step. There are many question marks everywhere, but the potential is there for them to be a 10-win or better team. But don't forget how good this Miami team used to be, but that was a long time ago, so who knows anymore. Mario Cristobal has been criticized a lot as a coach, and he kind of deserves all the criticism he gets, but only time will tell how this team does going into the next couple years. But for Rutgers, a 6-win season seems almost out of the picture with the Big Ten games you will have going forward, but we will see. But for the last game of the video, we have NC State versus Kansas State. The first ranked versus ranked matchup, two very solid teams with potential to be good next year. But this game will be played on Thursday, December 28th at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time in Orlando, Florida. Kansas State is the favorite in this game by 3 points, and the analytics also like Kansas State to win this game. But this NC State team has been rolling, and Kansas State lost their quarterback, Will Howard, to the transfer portal. So that's a difficult loss for Kansas State. And I feel like NC State should be the favorite in this game. But Kansas State has been a really good team in analytics this year. But I do have NC State winning this game, 30-23. This is one of the games I'm most excited for, but that is going to do it for the video. In the next video, we will preview the last games that aren't the New Year's Six Bowl games, and that will be out tomorrow. But Wednesday is when I will be previewing the big time bowl games, which will be the New Year's Six Bowl games. I hope you guys are excited for all the bowl games coming up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let me remind you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also turn on notifications so you never miss an upload, because we post daily college football videos. Hope you guys are enjoying the holidays. Well, that's going to do it, guys, and peace out.